What's going on, guys? Welcome to our Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather post-fight reaction discussion. And right off the top, I gotta admit to you guys, man, that was, in my opinion, I don't know whether to laugh or be serious or throw up, or I don't know how to feel about this one, but that was worst case scenario for the sport of boxing. I mean, that really was probably, I can't, somebody help me out on this one in the chat or whatever. That may have been the worst money grab in boxing history as far as what it did to the sport, what it does to the sport. I mean, it couldn't have gone worse besides the Arias versus Hurd fight, right? Besides that fight, this event could not have been worse. I mean, this was absolutely disgraceful. Where do I even begin? So, it's raining. I mean, look, first and foremost, if you're from Miami like I am and you're involved, in the fight game, then Miami is a shit town for fights. I mean, Miami's just not a fight town. So, first and foremost, I don't know why people are trying to do fights in Miami. It's never been a fight town. It's good for events. It's good for a night out. But it's not for a fight town. And you saw from the audience, it was, not a lot of people there. On top of that, it's raining outside. I mean, you do a fight in Miami in the summer outside. I mean, who's thinking here? Who's thinking here? Miami in the summer is one of two things constantly. It's either raining, pouring, or it's sunny. It's either pouring or it's sunny. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And I can't understand the strategy here. I mean, this was a goof squad strategy. This was embarrassing. And then, Floyd Mayweather, right, manages to finally become the baby in a fight where, the majority, I think, are tuning in to watch this obnoxious YouTuber get knocked out. And, doesn't get the knockout. It goes 8 rounds. And, they're basically, kind of hugging all over each other. I just, people tell me, and I disagree 100%, 1,000%, but people tell me, these sorts of events bring eyes to the sport. No. These sorts of events don't bring eyes to the sport. These sorts of events are not an investment in the sport. As you can see, there wasn't a single young upcoming boxer on this card. The only guys that, any sort of fight fan I think would have been interested in were, and especially after Jean Pascal got popped with, 3 or 4 different PEDs or steroids or whatever he was doing, was Jarrett Hurd and Luis Arias. I mean, if you're a fight fan, those are the only people you cared to watch. And, I mean, that was the only good thing about this event. I would give this event an F+, and that plus is the Jarrett Hurd versus Luis Arias fight. I mean, this fight knocks boxing back another 10 years. And, if the UFC hadn't already surpassed boxing, at the time they did the BMF belt where Masvidal and Nate Diaz were fighting in New York and Canelo had to kind of wait for that fight to happen on their big screen in Vegas in order to go out there, the UFC just lapped boxing. Tonight, the UFC lapped boxing because that, you guys, I'm sorry to tell you, there's just no positive. There's just no positive to getting a bunch of old guys out there and YouTubers and Chad Ochocinco, getting those guys out there, not a single knockout. Mayweather goes the distance, it's the bad guys won tonight, man. The bad guys won tonight, man. The bad guys won tonight. And look at these clowns Talking about Logan Paul 1. My goodness. My goodness. I mean, a wet canvas. People are slipping and sliding all over the place. I mean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Listen, in the meantime, we're prepping for FightersRep 10, and I want to tell you guys, this is going to be absolutely the most stacked card we've ever put on. I mean, I've got talent on this card that is absolutely world class. You know, Bellator veterans, UFC veterans, Glory veterans, BKFC veterans. Everybody's going to be fighting on this card. Incredible matchups on the card. You know, we're aiming for something like 15 to 17 fights. That's happening. That's happening August 13th. You could tune right in and watch it right here as long as you hit the join button below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, by the way, if this is your first time here. Listen, if there are any of you out there, anymore that are fight fans and not complete gullible goofbags that would buy some shit like what happened tonight, I mean, I ask you to join this channel. I mean, because there are so many young, hungry guys and girls trying to come up in the sport. We're doing it the hard way. We're doing it the right way. We're putting together 50-50 fights. None of this A-side versus B-side boxing bullshit that we see all the time. You're not going to get what you saw tonight, people slipping and sliding in the ring because we decided to do a show outside of Miami in the summer where it rains 75% of the time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much more of a disaster this could have been for boxing. I really don't. What fighter benefited from this besides these old veterans on the card? Badu Jack, Floyd Mayweather, Arias is the only one. I mean, you couldn't put... the guy's got an entire stable of young talent that he could have just filled the undercard with. We could have had an entire day filled with undercard fights. 15, 20 fights. We're aiming for 15 to 17 fights on August 13th right here at FightersRep. Young, hungry lions. And then we got the main card closer to the top, maybe some post limps. Young, hungry, upcoming lions been struggling their entire life, been fighting, paying their dues, in 50-50 fights. And then you got some shit like we saw today, Chad Ochocinco versus a bare knuckle guy. I don't, help me understand the allure. Guys, help me understand the allure. I want to understand what goes through your heart and mind, when you plunk down, the money for this kind of stuff. I really need to understand. I really need to understand. I mean, Logan Paul won. I mean, what did he win? He won $20 million. I mean, my goodness. My goodness. I mean, I don't, it's times like these, right? It's times like these where you look back at your biology class and, you understand and you appreciate the proximity we are to chimpanzees and primates. I swear to God. I mean, I just say to myself, we are 100%. I mean, we're 100%, primate. I mean, we're 99% genetically similar, whatever it is, to chimpanzee. Because, I mean, that's it right there. What you saw tonight, that was it. That was the gotcha hat, catch me outside, Lady Gaga coming out in the placenta. That's what the majority loves. That's what the majority loves. And if we've got to be a channel and a promotion for hardcore fight fans, then it is what it is, man. I mean, look, I just think everybody likes a good fight, a good even fight. It brings out the best in the guys, and that's what we put together. So maybe we can bring in the casuals as well, and that's going down August 13th. Obviously, FightersRep 11th, November 5th. But my good, I don't understand the recipe tonight. I don't understand the recipe. The fight in the thunderstorm, people slipping and sliding all over the ring, potentially affecting the outcome of a fight. It was a split decision, too. in that Arias versus Hurd fight. Split decision where? Where was the split decision there? I mean, this just shows you that the judges over in Florida, man, they don't got no experience at all, man. I'm saying that as a Florida native. They got no experience. Nobody won officially as far as I know, but it was clear. It was clear Mayweather was winning that fight. Unless, you're a Logan Paul fan, which I'm sure there's a ton of them all over the place because, people are funny like that. But my goodness, I mean, Mayweather had a hand. Mayweather had a hand in destroying the sport of boxing, right? As great as he was, and I always say he's the best I ever watched, his obsession with maintaining his undefeated record and selecting opponents at opportune times is a recipe that everybody has followed in boxing since. And and he perfected that recipe, and now they all follow it. And it's ruined the sport of boxing. And tonight, it was almost as if he had the chance to sort of redeem himself and save the sport of boxing, right? The same guy, in my opinion, who's kind of destroyed it, had the chance to save it tonight. He had the chance to save it tonight. By allowing this goofball to go 8 rounds with him, he did it. I think if he would have gotten the knockout, he would have saved boxing. He didn't. And now, and I've been saying how the UFC is lapping. The UFC is lapping. Guys, there's no winner. It's an exhibition. Remember, it's an exhibition. There's no winner. But Mayweather definitely landed more shots and did more damage. But listen, it's amazing. I say the UFC is, lapping boxing. Because now the only hope to save boxing, from this continued goofiness that's just extracting from it, is an MMA fighter, former champion, Tyron Woodley. My God, my Lord, please allow Tyron Woodley to go in there and just blast this dude out so we don't have to deal with this anymore. I mean, this is just an absolute embarrassment. And look, we're a kickboxing promotion. I'm a kickboxing promoter. I mean, it doesn't affect me too much, but I love boxing. I love combat sports. Seeing what these guys go through, seeing what they put themselves through, and then watching guys like this come through and just swipe away the glory and get all these opportunities. And it's just, while these other fighters are just being completely neglected, that's kind of what drives me and this channel and this promotion. I want the public to support these young fighters on the FightersRep cards. I want you guys to check out this amazing sport of, unified rules kickboxing that we have here at FightersRep, where you got to stand and bang, and where we make 50-50 fights and anybody can win on any given night. We're not matching guys up who are just there to be destroyed. We're not preserving and manufacturing undefeated records to fool you guys and insult your intelligence into thinking these guys are invincible. If you've been fighting your entire life and you're undefeated, which is far too common in boxing because it's manufactured, if you've been fighting your whole life and you're undefeated, you probably have not fought good competition. Unless your name is Khabib Nurmagomedov, John Jones. I mean, and that's why I say, the UFC just absolutely laps boxing, and just tonight, man, you guys, I don't know. Give me your rating. Give me your rating 1 through 10 on tonight's card in the chat. 1 through 10. Give me your rating. I want to know what you guys thought of that event, and I just want to elucidate some things. Miami, not a fight town. I'm from there. It's not a fight town. You don't do fights there. They don't give a fuck about fights in Miami. Excuse the French. in the summer in Miami where it's either hot as hell or it's raining? I mean, you didn't know not to do a fight outdoors? Absolutely no prospects on the card from top to bottom. Chad Ochocinco. Stadium looked empty almost the majority of the night. I mean, wow. What the hell? What am I looking? Guys, join this channel. Join the channel. Hit the subscribe button first and foremost. Join the channel. It's just $4.99 a month. I'm going to show you guys the most talented strikers. I'm going to say it right here. The most talented strikers you've ever seen in your lives from the best fight camps in the world right here in Southern California. I just happen to be here. It's not because it's me. It's because it's Southern California. It's because it's California in general and the most talented fighters in the world. We got kids from Black House MMA, where the legendary Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida trained. The best strikers in the world. In fact, both of Anderson Silva's sons are looking to compete at this next event. And one of them is looking to unify the IKF state title at FightersRep for the entire state of California. We're the only ones doing that. I got a legend, MMA champion and Muay Thai champion in Chris Cully taking on another underground legend in Justin Baseman. Two guys with over 50 fights in the main event. If Chris Cully can win that title in the main event on August 13th, he becomes one of the few people, maybe in the world, especially in the United States, to have won a title in MMA, Muay Thai, and kickboxing. And we're doing it like a BMF sort of title because these guys have just fought everybody. They're nearing the end of their careers. They have over 50 fights each, and I just want to honor them because they're down to fight anybody. Baseman, fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. Cully, same thing. We got Tyrion the Flash Ware, UFC veteran, taking on Brandon LaRocco, Bellator veteran. Of course, keep in mind these cards are always subject to change, but that's what we're looking at right now. We got Mikey 2 Raw Shaw, IKF champion, going up against Jonathan the Caveman Garcia. Inglewood versus Stockton, California. We got Eddie Action Jackson, a.k.a. Ambien Jackson, taking on Connor Brackett from Johnson-on's Wooden Man Muay Thai gym up in Northern California. It's a legendary team. I mean, the best strikers you're ever going to see in your life, and they're going to stand and bang it out because our rule set is just like boxing. There's no clinch unless it's one hand and you're working, just like boxing, so you can't clinch. It's just boxing with kicks and knees. And I'm telling you guys, join the channel. It's the only way you can watch it. Of course, we'll upload the fights later, individually, for free, eventually, so we can continue to build these young fighters up and build the promotion up. But to watch it live, I ask that you guys join the channel. It's just $4.99 a month. Join me on this journey, man, because what's happening to combat sports right now, you guys, is not okay. Is not okay. You have a lot of these narcissists and sociopaths whose purpose is themselves and nobody else in control right now. That's what's happened. That's what's happened. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by what I saw tonight. Look, one guy in here rated it an 8. One guy actually rated the event an 8. The majority rated it a 0. Somebody rated it a -10. Somebody rated it a -1. My goodness, you guys. So anyway, August 13th, FightersRep 10. We're aiming for 15 to 17 fights for you guys. Just $5 a month. November 13th, a couple months later, FightersRep 11. At that point, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to have an event for you every other month. Behind the scenes content, documentaries. We come on here every Saturday or Sunday like I'm doing now. We go live. We talk about the fights. We talk about the fight game. This is a community. This is a community of people that actually enjoy fights and give a shit about the fight game, as opposed to a bunch of sociopaths. I don't know. And listen, it was an exhibition bout. I want you guys, people keep coming in here and asking who won. I want you guys to understand something. As somebody who's a promoter and an attorney, and the only licensed pro kickboxing promoter in the entire state of California, the mecca of combat sports. I want you guys to understand something. This was an exhibition bout for a couple of reasons. And I hope my experience as a promoter can help you understand what happened tonight. First and foremost, no sanctioning body worth its weight in shit is going to sanction a bout between a YouTuber and a boxer with 50 fights. None. Zero. Get it out your head. It's not going to happen. Second, no sanctioning body is going to sanction a fight where a guy outweighs another by 35 pounds. There are weight classes for a reason. So how do we get around this? How do we get around the rules and the regulations of combat sports, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, what have you? We go and we do an exhibition bout where we can manipulate the length of the rounds, how long the fight is in terms of rounds, the size of the gloves used, the rule set, the weight classes, you name it. You name it. And because you're no longer following the traditional rule set, you don't have a winner. You have an exhibition. And you have a bunch of people watching. So people forked all this money over tonight to Floyd Mayweather, who probably came away from this event with $100 million. And Logan Paul came away with $20 million. At least allegedly, that was the projection. I thought the audience was shit tonight. I didn't think there was that much. So you have all these people dropping all this money for a fight where there can't be a winner because it's an exhibition bout. And all that money is going right to Floyd Mayweather's pocket. It's going right to the pockets of the big executives at Showtime. It's going right to the pocket of Logan Paul. And not a single young, starving, depleted, neglected boxing prospect or young man or woman that's trying to make something out of their life is gaining a single penny from this event. I mean, it's just the way they play the public for me is just, I mean, wow. Again, chimpanzees. I mean, we're just chimpanzees that use language. I mean, I'm convinced. Christian Lewis says, "Nice Fez, thank you." You know, typically I go to the chat and I read everything you guys are saying. I don't think I could keep up. There's a lot of you in here. But from here on out, I want to hear what you guys have to say. And you can ask me any questions you want. You can say whatever you like. Nobody wins. Again, I'm going to reiterate that. Nobody wins in an exhibition bout. It's an exhibition. But before I go to your chats, questions, comments, I would like for you guys to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon next to it so you know when we drop a video. Hit the like button just below here. Hit the like button. That helps, beam this video out to more fight fans, hopefully. And join the channel, man. Just $4.99 a month, dude. Help me help these young guys and girls that really have talent and very few opportunities. Help me get these kids across the line. I guarantee you guys you're going to see something special at the next FightersRep. And we put all our fights up for free. Eventually, usually it's 2-3 weeks, whatever, after the event. We upload them all individually so these kids have a library of fights to watch so they can get more exposure, so we could build them up so they could show their friends and build themselves up, their fans, whatever, what have you. Thank you for bringing it down. Let me see. Thank you for breaking it down for people who don't understand what happened tonight, says Cheddar323. All day, it's an exhibition bout, guys. This is how they get around the rules. It's the loophole. That's what it is. You guys say loophole. You hear that word used a lot. This was a loophole tonight. UKW, do you think Mayweather let him survive? No, I don't think so. I think it was 35 pounds more. I think if Mayweather could have knocked him out, he would have. I kind of wish he would have. I think that would have been really good for boxing. the fact that this guy was able to stay in there and, go, whatever amount of time it was with Mayweather, the 8 rounds, really is hurtful. It's sort of hurtful. Let me see here. So, it's sort of hurtful for the sport. That's what I'm going to say about that. So, anyway. I don't think Mayweather let him survive, you guys. I don't. And that's unfortunate. Boxing is still alive and well. These kids just have box office appeal. How could you not put them in and reap the revenue as a businessman? Listen. What you're not understanding, Crimson, is yes, you put them in and you reap the revenue as a businessman. But where is the investment in the sport? This is a short-sighted mentality. The way you invest in the sport by using these characters is you put them at the top of the card and you litter the remainder of the card with young upcoming talent so that you get all these eyes not only to view these goofballs, but to view all this upcoming talent in an effort to build the sport, in an effort to reinvest in the sport so that it continues to grow, so that it continues to have legitimacy, so that 10 years down the line, people are still watching this. I don't know why this is so hard for you guys to understand. I mean, I'm not even saying something that's this complex. Fine, put Logan Paul and Jake Paul on the card, but put some young upcoming prospects on the undercard and build them up and get them some money and reap yourself some more money and guarantee you some future money. Come on, guys. Come on. I mean, we cannot be this low as far as business acumen goes. Come on, guys. Oh, my goodness. Kevin from Chicago. Logan wrestling background saved him, allowed him to survive, tie, and control the clinch. I agree. Interesting fight. Think I'll stick to Twitter and Doge. That is hilarious, says Elon Musk. Alex Mark says no. No shit, he let him survive. No point in hurting him. The whole card was whack except for Arias hurt. Yep, I said that earlier. But yes, us fans have to stop paying for these types of cards. Joke, says Sam Slot Channel. Mayweather was embarrassed tonight. That was embarrassing. The commentary was embarrassing. Boxing doesn't give me motivation anymore. Listen to these people. Can you show the punches after the rounds? I cannot, Dragon. Hanan Zahid says, bro, keep capping who actually won. I brought the damn thing and it just cut out at the end. I don't even know. Nobody won, bro. It's an exhibition bout, you guys. It's an exhibition bout. Nobody wins in an exhibition bout. You people get played. You people get played out of your money. Nobody won, says Draken Page. Royally Book says, for real, Hanan, I just want to know who won, man. Nobody won, guys. It's exhibition. Floyd landed more shots. If it was properly judged, Floyd Mayweather won. It went to decision. Floyd Mayweather would have won a unanimous decision. That's it. Yes, it was cringe. Abram Atkinson. I watched the whole thing for it to cut out. That's hilarious. Royally Book says, what? Floyd versus 50 next. Royally Book says, it was a draw? Question mark. Hanan said Zahid says they tied. No, they didn't tie. This whole fight was terrible. Mayweather should be ashamed of accepting this fight. Logan kept clenching because that's all he had. In the end, Floyd said he took it easy. Again, this was trash. Absolute trash. Oh, you keep lunch under that awesome Fez. I don't, Chamar, but, might as well be lunch the way it's looking. Draken Pate says, royally booked, nobody won. I still like boxing. Loma keeps me intrigued, says Dylan Phillips. Well, how do you feel about the fact that he wasn't offered an immediate rematch after that Teofimo Lopez fight? Do you think the UFC, in a UFC, or at our promotion at FightersRep, that there's a fight that close that you're not going to have to go in there and maybe run back an immediate rematch? Boxing is all backwards. Boxing is upside down and backwards. Crimson says, I understand what you're saying. For the most part, they've done so. No, they haven't, Crimson says. No, they haven't, Crimson. Eddie Hearn's card a few years ago, let's see, had Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders on it. That's it. That's not enough. Showtime has no fighters. This was the Floyd show. Floyd has fighters. Floyd has a whole stable. They should have been on this card. Pacquiao Spence is the mega fight. This Floyd fight is a joke. I agree with that. This is not exhibition. This is a circus, says Santa Rita Raiders. 100% Santa Rita Raiders. Crazy D3. Floyd is not interested in the health of boxing. Floyd is only interested in the health of Floyd's bank accounts. Exactly. And people know that. And they keep paying these people money. 602. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. Listen, I can't bend you guys over and spank you for buying this bullshit stuff, you know? For spending your money on this stuff. I can't bend you over and spank you for it. It's time for Floyd to leave this. It's a new era. His era is over. I agree. Royally Book says, I didn't know it was exhibition. UK Weed says, damn, man, looks like Logan did better than McGregor. Thank you all. Let me see what this shit is saying here. Oh, what's going on here? I'm hearing blinging sounds, but nothing's happening. I don't get it. Anyway, am I the only one hearing blinging sounds? Mayweather gets 100 mil to fight a YouTuber. Meanwhile, Crawford can't get a decent fight in his own division. I mean, it's wild. It's wild, you guys. It's wild. It's wild. No one won. You damn right no one won. To be honest, if you paid for it, you deserve what you paid for, says Crazy D3. Yup. Kevin from Chicago says, I'm shocked Logan Paul survived 6 rounds after looking dead tired. Yup. Draken Page says 60% of the match was them hugging. Yup. Abraham Atkins says, I'm tired of these fighters fighting for money and not for the love of the sport. And now I want my refund. Well, I bet you guys all your money you wouldn't want a refund if you joined the channel and you watch the FightersRep event, and you watch what's going to happen on August 13th, where I get the best strikers in the world together in the Lion's Den, and they throw down, and I give you guys 15 to 17 fights of the baddest MFs you've ever seen in your life. Let me tell you, you guys are not going to want your refund. And it's all going to be 50-50 fights. It's all going to be guys with amazing pedigrees from the best gyms in the world out here in California. And all you got to do is join the channel, man. That's all I ask. $4.99 a month, 16 cents a day. Help me build this thing up so I can pay these kids what they're worth, man. They're worth way more than all these bums you saw tonight. They're worth way more than Chad Ochocinco deserves to get in a boxing match. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. That Migos song was so good. I like Migos, man. They just kind of stole 3 6 Mafia style, which I was big into as a young man. But I like it. I like it. K2 says, who won? Nobody won. It's an exhibition, but Floyd would have won had it been a proper boxing match. Should have had Jake run in with a chair in round 6, set up tag team match with Woodley and Money in October. It was just like WWE. Marco, my brother, man, that was horrible. They were just dancing and prancing and basically hugging each other, and it was overpriced, says Hanan Zahid. Yep, you're right. FightersRep, I'm in a wheelchair for life. I want to get buff. Any tips? Draken Page. I don't know, man. I have no idea. This is not the channel for getting buff. Christian T says, I hope to see some old school promoters. I'm probably the only one. Diego Mejia says, this is entertainment, not boxing. Nothing wrong with that. What the hell are you talking about, Diego? The hell are you talking about, bro? This is boxing. This wasn't entertainment. This was boxing. This was an embarrassment for boxing. Sam Slot Channel says, yes, LOL. Hanan Zahid says, that was more faker than WWE. So terrible. I really don't think this did solid pay-per-view numbers, to be honest. Everyone I know streamed this illegally, says Chen Forajido. To be honest, I'm happy I watched it illegally, says Draken Page. This was entertainment. I don't know what is. Yeah, I agree with Hanan, man. This shit was not entertaining at all. This shit was whack. Shit was trash. Diego says, if people pay for WWE, which is simply entertainment, why complain about this? It's not like Floyd or Logan are fighting for a belt, because this is an actual sport. WWE is entertainment. This is an actual sport that's being neglected. You have an entire stable of fighters that are not getting any opportunities from this. This is not helping grow the sport at all. Even when WWE is putting its events together, it's thinking about future matches. It's thinking about future storylines. It's investing in itself. It's trying to grow itself. It's trying to improve its business and its fan base. This is not doing that. If you don't see the difference there, then I don't know what to tell you. The 100 million has to be a fake number. That fight had very little hype. I just don't see how it would make that kind of revenue to make that happen. I kind of agree. Boxing is a joke right now, says Alex Smart. Probably streamed that illegally too, says Shamar Brown. Just subbed LMAO. I like this commentary. Just being honest, Abram. Thank you for subbing. Thank you, Hanan. Thank you, Draken. Appreciate you guys for subbing. I see all you guys. Flarkin Glarky. Appreciate you guys for subscribing to the channel, man. Please consider joining as well. We're building a community here where, you guys are involved in helping me build a real promotion where real fighters fight each other. And we're still going to have entertainment. We're still going to have documentaries and background, storylines and people going crazy. And it's just the way the fight game is. But at least we're investing in these young fighters. At least we're investing in these young fighters. David Arvelo says, I didn't watch the papelazo tonight. Just figured I would tune into your channel after it was over anyway. That's hilarious. The thing is, it wasn't an entertaining show, Diego. I agree with that. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, Earl Spence, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Lomachenko, Jermel Charlo. Boxing is fine. Trust me. Oh, it is fine. It is fine. But couldn't it be a million times better? Couldn't it be a million times better? You see, that's the difference between, no offense, Crimson, that's the difference between myself and you. You accept the status quo. I don't accept the status quo. I think it's trash. I think putting a ring outside in the summer in Miami where it rains every other day, and I know that because I'm from there, is a trash idea. I think having Ocho Cinco in there against Brian Maxwell instead of some upcoming young prospects in boxing, I think that's a trash idea. So, to each his own, bro. To each his own. Trash is trash to me. Trash is not treasure. What do you think of Fury versus Wilder fight coming up? Says Sam Slot Channel. I think it'll still be a good fight. I think Wilder's still dangerous, but I would have rather watched the Anthony Joshua fight because I think Tyson Fury kind of has Wilder's number at this point. Crazy D3 boxing media should be held accountable for their coverage of this farce. Absolutely. Absolutely. Crazy D3. Absolutely. They act like there's no entertainment in, covering a young upcoming fighter. I mean, they act like there's no value in that. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, how they've sold out. Eric Hill says, facts. Appreciate you, Eric Hill. Appreciate you, bro. I hope you guys subscribe, and you did. Thank you, Mac Wyatt, Eric Hill. Appreciate you subscribing. Listen, right here on this channel, we're building a community, man. Serious fighters from all over the world, from all different ethnicities and nationalities and culture, right here in California, going to be throwing down on August 13th, right here on this channel. FightersRep number 10, our 10th event. This thing is growing stronger every time. All you got to do to support the channel and be able to watch the stream live is to join the channel. Just $4.99 a month. The join button below. I ask that you guys subscribe and get your FightersRep gear in the link below. Help me build. That's how you help me build. You get a shirt out of it. You get a live stream out of it. You get an event that we put together as a community out of it. This hits me hard, you guys. This hits me hard, man. This hits me hard. I see what these kids go through, man. I see, these boxers, these young boxers, they get punched in the head on the daily. These kickboxers that I deal with. These MMA fighters, a lot of them Muay Thai, they cross over into my sport, into FightersRep kickboxing. I see what they go through. I see what they go through. And for Chad Ochocinco to go out there and get the opportunity over all of them, over all these young kids here in East LA and, You know what I mean? In the South Bay, and it's just it's hard. It's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch. And I'm a very personable guy. I'm always grinding. I don't stop. If you guys, have already been on this channel, I put out content almost every day, every other day when I'm tired and lazy, every other day. We put up fights here. Every Fighters Rep event has been streamed for free. I mean, I've been grinding. Only the next one we're going to start charging for a little bit, so I can try to make some money to make this thing better. To grind this hard, and it's like pulling teeth to find sponsors and supporters, because and then to see Chad Ochocinco go out there and embarrass himself and get all that kind of, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, tonight was a pimp slap in the face of boxing. Tonight, the sociopaths, right? They put baby powder on their hands. They put baby powder on their hands like this, on the front and on the back, right? And they lined up all the boxing fans and some combat sports fans at the end. And they just slapped the shit out of everybody. Giso, and then this used to happen to me when I was younger. My parents were a little bit, old school. So you'd catch it on the way in, and then you'd catch it on the way back. Giso back this way, bro. I mean, baby powder on the front and the backhand, and you just poof. That poof is not just the baby powder dissipating into the air, the particulates just dissipating into the air. It's also the legitimacy of boxing, right? The legitimacy of boxing dissipating in the air, man. Big shout out to Matt Cedillo with a donation to the channel, man. I appreciate you, man. Watching Arias and Hurd, knowing what they both had on the line, then to watch that spectacle, really stark contrast. I mean, Matt, you get it. Drockett Page, Fighters Rep, John Garcia versus John Garcia was a better fight than that. You better believe John Garcia versus Milton Arguello at Fighters Rep 9 was a better fight than that. You better believe that. You know that. You guys know that. If you've watched our fights, you know the amateurs on the undercard. Danny Lozano versus David Yeghyazarian. That Armenian kid versus that Mexican kid from East LA, from Inglewood. You know that was a better fight than what you saw tonight. You know. And yet there's the threat. This is what breaks my heart, you guys. There's a threat that Danny Lozano, the kid from Inglewood, the kid I told you about from Inglewood, 5-0. 5-0 absolute beast. Because of this pandemic and because of the lack of opportunity and the lack of pay, because people don't want to support these young warriors. I heard he might not even be training. We might not be able to get him on the next Fighters Rep card. I mean, that shit kills me, because if there was more money and more opportunity, and that's what I'm trying to grow here, so I appreciate you guys being here. If there was that, the kid could live his dream. And I think he'll come back. I mean, he's too damn talented not to come back. He's too damn talented. I refuse a 5-0 young 20-year-old I want you guys, after this video is done, to go watch Danny Lozano versus David Yeghyazarian in our free fight section. I mean, these kids went to war. These kids went to war for nothing. They're amateurs. They can't get paid. I give them a percentage of their ticket sales just because I feel bad. They're not supposed to be paid as amateur fighters. I want you guys to see what these kids did for free. For free. For free. Stop asking me who won in here. It's an exhibition bout. You guys got played if you think a winner comes from an exhibition bout. Nobody wins an exhibition bout, guys. It's an exhibition. It's an exhibit. That's where the word exhibition comes from. Who won? Keep asking me who won. You paid all that money, you didn't even get a winner. I just want to bend people over and spank them like I'm their parent. What did the ref say? No, judges score a fight. There were no judges. If you look at CompuBox, if you look at the stats, Mayweather landed more punches. Anybody who would have scored that bout as a proper judge would have had Mayweather win in that fight. But the fact that Logan Paul lasted those 8 rounds just made boxing look worse. David Arvello says, I'm looking at tickets to come out there for August 13th show, Big Booty. I hope you pull up, Big Booty. The tickets will be on FightersRep.com soon. If you guys can't make it to Southern California to watch the fights in person, you can watch it right here on YouTube for just $5 a month, and you can cancel anytime. You want to just watch the fight and cancel afterwards, you can do that. Or you can stick around and help me build a community where we actually put real fights together and give kids opportunities. It's up to you guys, just being honest here. David Arvello, you're in Miami, my brother. David Arvello is my Boricua from Miami. David, is Miami a fight town, bro? Miami's not a fight town, bro. You're living there now. I don't know if you know like I know. They took a fight to Miami. That was mistake number 1 because nobody's built any sort of following in the fight game in Miami. And mistake number 2, they put a ring outside in the summer in Miami. I mean, Miami, you guys, I want you guys to understand something about Miami. I know this because, I'm from there. Miami is a swamp on the beach. It's a swamp on the beach. And you don't become a swamp without a whole lot of rain, you guys. I mean, I've literally seen iguanas running around my neighborhood. I've seen alligators. You do not put a ring outside in the summer in a tropical climate swamp. Okay? Miami may be the swampiest. Listen, South Florida may be the swampiest swamp in the world. The swampiest swamp. People literally go there and take airboat rides and eat alligator nuggets and do shit that you don't do anywhere else on this planet. There are pythons out there 30 feet long or whatever the hell. And alligators, I remember they shot one that was like 20 feet long or something like that. The craziest thing that I ever saw was the dead body of an alligator. They had it on the news. No, the dead body of a snake that was on the news that had swallowed an alligator. And the dead body of the snake is there and the alligator's arm is sticking out the stomach because it must have like woke back up in the snake's stomach or something like that. You're going to put a boxing ring outside? David Arvello, you aren't wrong, homie. An outdoor show in South Florida in the summer or just period is a huge mistake. Whoever signed off on that idea is a tremendo come pinga. Oh my God. Oh my God. Good night, Sam. Appreciate you being here, bro. Appreciate you being here, guys. Guys, I'm not going to take any more of your time. At the post-fight, Mac Wise is saying that at the post-fight, Floyd said he took it easy on Logan. Of course he's going to say that. What else is he going to say? Dev Rod says it's not Floyd's fault. People pay him for these whack fights. Can't wait for Pacquiao versus Spence. True. And Hurricane says back. Wyatt. Alex Marks says for real. True boxing's Canelo, the true pound for pound king. I agree with that. Look on Floyd's face after the fight said it all. He was forcing a smile. He wasn't happy. Disappointed everyone. Say what you want about the man, but deep down, he wants people to like him. I don't dislike him. I like Floyd. I think he's the best I've ever seen. I think you're right. It's not Floyd's fault. People pay him for these whack fights. Anyone else would do the same. Can't wait for Pacquiao versus Spence. This hurts Floyd's legacy. It doesn't help. This hurts boxing. This hurts boxing, guys. I'm going to wrap this up by saying this hurts boxing. Join the channel. Let's build something that matters. Let's build something legitimate. Help me out, guys. Help me help these young fighters. This hurt boxing. This was a slap in the face. This was a slap in the face for boxing. This was not good. I don't see the benefit of this. That's all I've got to say. Tune in tomorrow, the day after. We're constantly putting content out on this channel. And I appreciate you guys joining me, man. For real, I just messaged a boxer and he said, eat protein and work out.